Okay guys, I am back with another series of fasting videos. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but if you're watching this, then that means it must have gone okay. Today is Saturday, June 30th, and I'm just about to break my 13-hour water fast, and I have a steaming cup of coffee here, and so I am going to take a sip of it in just a second. But the reason that I was waiting is because, first of all, let me show you this app, and then I'll talk about what in the world I'm doing. So there's this fasting app. It's called Zero. And what I like about it is a free app, and I think it was totally free. I can't remember, but I think it was totally free. So what you do is as soon as you're done eating, you press start fasting, and then of course when you're done, you press stop fasting. And so right now my goal is 13 hours water only every day to start off with. So right now you see I'm going on 13 hours and 45 minutes. The reason I like this app is because every single day I try to stop eating by 7 p.m., but as you can see, this was a Friday night. I didn't stop until 8:44. So like on days that I go out to dinner or eat late or have company, it's nice to know, it's nice to still be in my 13-hour window and not have to remember exactly what time I finished eating. And the app will actually send you a message when it's time for you, when your fast is over. So like when I hit 13 hours, it sent me a text saying, oh yeah, it's time for you to have your coffee. And I was busy, so I didn't get up and make my coffee, even though I was very hungry. And at about the 12-hour mark, I really wanted my coffee, but then I ignored it. And so now I'm still ignoring it. But okay, so I'm about to take a sip of my coffee, and I'm going to press, well wait, let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, stop fasting. So, you see how it tells me what time I started, what time I just stopped, how much I fasted, and now I'm going to save it. And then it shows you how well I've done in my past fasts. So that's a 12-hour right there, and you can see how well I've done this whole week. And when I get ready to fast again tonight, I'll just press start fasting. So the thing that I've been doing every single day is trying to have a 13-hour water fast, which is not very hard when I stop at 7. Some days I even stop eating at 6:30 or 5:30, which is even better, because then by the time I wake up in the morning and turn on my computer, it's already time for my 13 hours to be up. But anyway, the purpose of these particular videos is that I am going to experiment for the month of July, and every single week I am going to do either a 48-hour fast or a 72-hour fast once a week, in addition to my intermittent fasting that I'm going to be doing. So let me talk to you about what I have been doing with my intermittent fasting. So that app is called the Zero app. And that is the one that I've been using just to keep track of my water fasting. Now I have another app, and that app was absolutely free. So I was like, why not have two apps? So then I have another app where I'm keeping track of the point where I actually eat something. Because I don't consider, so this coffee that I'm drinking right now just has 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in it and a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. And so this broke my water fast, but in terms of fat fasting, I'm still fasting. So this is usually about what I have every morning. And I have another app. Okay, so this app is called Fast Habit. So it does have some features that you can get if you pay for them. So right now I have this set for a 16-hour fasting window. So you can see here, oops, sorry okay. So it tells me here at 12:44 is when my 16 hours is up. So what I do is every day, the reason I drink my coffee with heavy whipping cream, sometimes with butter, grass-fed butter, and sometimes with MCT oil, is to try to get to the 16-hour mark. That's what I'm trying to do. And so this is to tell me that, yeah, I've made it to the 16-hour mark. So as soon as I take my first bite of real food, then of course I press stop fasting. So you can see here how well I've done with this. Not that fantastic, but anyway, I just wanted to quickly give you a summary of that. That actually doesn't have anything to do with why I'm making this video. I really just want to use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit more about intermittent fasting and not have it in my regular video as much if you don't care about it. I actually want to, now I'm saying that I am going to use this to actually lose weight. Also to improve my health at the same time, but this experiment that I'm about to do for July is really going to be for weight loss. And so that's why I'm going to be doing the kind of extended fast every single week. You know, some people do the every other day thing, 24 hours every other day. I don't think that I would like that. And oh, so I haven't even told you, I'm already spacey today. My fast hasn't even really started. So what I'm trying today and tomorrow, so right now I'm attempting a 48-hour fast. It's going to be a fat fast one day, and then the next day will be a water fast. And by having the fat fast first, that's going to help get my body into ketosis so that the water day is not going to be very hard, because I do eat low carb, but I'm not really keto. And so fasting is easier if you're keto or low carb, but it's really much easier if you're keto. So I'm experimenting with, yeah, doing one day of fat. And for me, fat is really going to mean, I think I'm going to have 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day, each one with 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, and maybe 1 cup a day with MCT oil or butter if I feel like I need it. So that's just going to be for, yeah, so for my fat fasting days. And then hopefully tomorrow I'm hoping to either have black coffee, black tea all day, and that's it. So I want to do this, I'm going to chronicle today and tomorrow, and I'm going to chronicle my fast every single week for the month of July. We'll see how I'm feeling, how I'm thinking about the whole thing. Today my weight was 178.4. So just for fun, I'll go ahead and tell you my weights every day. So that's where I'm starting today. I'll tell you my weight tomorrow, and then we'll see, you know, what happens next week. I also might come back, I think I might come back twice a day, so once in the morning and then once in the evening before I'm about to go to bed to talk about how the day was. Now another thing that you need to know is that ever since I did the 5-day fast, I have still not been able to do a 24-hour fast. I've tried twice and I could not do it. Twice I only made it to 20 hours and I had to eat something. And so yeah, I fasted for 5 days, but ever since then I haven't been able to do it. So today is my first attempt again to try to make it 24 hours, and that's also why I'm using the fat to try to help me. So once again, if you're watching this video, then I had to have been successful, but at this moment I have no idea if I'm really going to be successful or not. So I will be checking in with you guys again tonight. Bye. Okay, it's been a long day. I am about to wash off my makeup and go to bed. So it is almost 10 o'clock. So I'm at about 25 and a half hours of fasting. And it was very hard. I had a lot of things to do today. And so the fact that I kept busy made it better. I mean, I think it would have been harder if I was working, because when I'm working, I'm just sitting there at a desk and I'm stationary for hours and hours and hours and hours, sometimes up to 12 hours. Because this is mostly mental, if you're still like that, even though I'm working, I think today would have been much harder if I had been working. I think. We'll see how tomorrow goes. But I had a little bit more hunger. I feel like I had a little bit more hunger than I did when I started my 5-day fast, but I don't remember. But I feel like I was struggling more with it today than I expected to, even with my coffee. So I ended up by the end of the day, I had 3 cups of coffee. My last cup of coffee, I finished it by 4:30. And so what I did was, my first cup of coffee, I had 1 tablespoon of cream in it, and that heavy whipping cream, and that was all. And then before I was done with that cup of coffee, I brewed another cup of coffee, put it in the same cup, so it still had some cream in it, and I added a tablespoon of MCT oil because I was feeling hungry. But I didn't necessarily want to get more calories from fat. So, and then my third cup of coffee, I put just 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream. So in the course of the day, I had 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream and 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. So I don't think that's too bad at all. I kept entertaining thoughts all day of maybe just stopping at the 24 hours. And then when I was sure I was going to make 24 hours, I kept thinking, well, maybe I can just go 36 hours. I mean, why do I have to go 48 hours? Because I'm just making this up myself. Why don't I just go 36 hours? And I admit I'm still toying with the idea of that. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. But the thing is that I actually feel fine. I am not hungry. I just want to eat. I mentally want to eat. And I was in a very bad mood. Like, I was grumpy, I was annoyed at the dogs, and I was feeling very kind of angry. Like I'm being punished. Like, I think I felt grouchy because I felt like I'm being punished, as if someone is making me do, these tags. So like someone is making me do something I don't want to do. So I was feeling kind of grouchy and angry, and that's how I felt all the way that as I was coming upstairs and turning off the lights and everything and coming up to my bedroom. I was thinking how grouchy I am. And then as I was thinking that, all of a sudden I started to become really emotional. And I started thinking about how privileged I am to be able to have food whenever I want to. And here it is, I can't even go 24 hours without eating when I'm not hungry. You know, so it's one thing if I was starving and I felt like I was starving, but I was trying to force myself to not eat and I'm hungry. I'm not hungry. I just want to eat because I want to eat. And there's no true need for me to eat. And so I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about how lucky I am that, technically I could have anything that I wanted to. If I wanted some steak, if I wanted some pizza. I mean, there are things that, yes, they might make me sick, like lasagna or something like that would probably make me sick. But technically I could have anything that I wanted. And I actually got teary-eyed because I was thinking of how privileged I am, that I could just eat whatever I wanted, anything time I want. And how come I can't just stop thinking about food when I'm not hungry? Like I said, it's one thing to think about food when you're hungry. And I got through those periods of time today. It never lasted very long. And it was a little hard, but like it only lasted maybe 15-20 minutes and then it was gone. But it's like, yeah, I keep thinking of food that's in my refrigerator. I have a hard-boiled egg in there that's left from my meal prep, and I have an avocado that's in there that I keep thinking about. Like every time I open the refrigerator to get water, I see the hard-boiled eggs sitting there, and I see the avocados sitting there, and I wonder if they're still good. And so, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I only want to do a 36-hour fast because I want to eat that avocado. I was going to talk about something else tonight, but I'm too emotional or whatever to do that. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about mentally how I was doing with my intermittent fasting when I first started the intermittent fasting. But now I'm going to have to talk about that when I'm feeling better mentally. The funny thing is that just this morning, one of the fasting Facebook groups that I'm in, so besides the Fasting for a Purpose group, I'm also in another group, the Jason Fung's Facebook. Sorry, I'm trying to see what my doggy is doing. The Jason Fung's Obesity Code fasting group. And just this morning, someone was saying something about how emotional they get during these fasts and how it brings out all of these emotional issues and things. And I didn't read the whole post in detail because I didn't feel like I related to what this person was saying. But tonight, I really started feeling emotional. Anyway, I hope some of this made sense. I'm going to sleep, and I will see you guys in the morning. Okay, guys, so it is day 2. It's 6:47 a.m. on Sunday. I just finished walking my dogs, and let me tell you about how the night went. So I did not sleep very well at all, and I'm positive that it was due to the fasting. So yeah, I didn't sleep very well at all. I was just tossing and turning most of the night. Only one time, so I kept waking up. So only one time when I woke up was I actually hungry. I woke up hungry, went back to sleep. A couple of times I woke up with a slight headache. I took a couple sips of water, I went back to sleep. The other times I woke up, I felt perfectly fine, and I don't know why I woke up. And I went back to sleep. So it was a terrible night. And so part of the way I feel right now is the way that I feel when I don't have enough sleep, which just makes me very annoyed. I'm not hungry at all, but I do feel tired from not getting any sleep. And like I did before with my 5-day fast, I really used the Facebook group a lot to help me. So last time I had the Fasting for a Purpose Facebook group that I used to help me out. And I'm still reading posts in that group. But I've also joined another group called the Jason Fung's Obesity Code fasting group. And you know, Jason Fung is the doctor who wrote the Obesity Code, and he also wrote the Complete Guide to Intermittent Fasting, and he has like 1 million YouTube videos, 1 million of them, because everyone is interviewing him, and then he just has all these videos. So definitely go watch those videos. So the thing about the Jason Fung group that's a little different than the other group is that it looks like the majority of the people in the Jason Fung group are there for weight loss purposes, or they've already lost a lot of weight and they're just using intermittent fasting to maintain their weight loss. And reading the post in this group, it's like the weight loss surgery posts, because everyone is like, oh, I've been doing this for 3 months and I lost 40 pounds. Oh, I lost 80 pounds in 6 months. Oh, I lost 120 pounds in a year. I mean, it looks just like the weight loss surgery posts. So it's very inspirational. Now, the one thing that Jason Fung kind of advocates is the 24-hour and 36-hour and 42-hour fasts several times a week. And so that's what a lot of the people in this group are doing. So not only do you have your normal intermittent fasting every day, like most people have a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour feeding window. Then in addition to that, they have like 3 days a week where they have a 24-hour fast, or 2 days a week with a 36-hour fast, or 2 days a week with a 42 to 48-hour fast, things like that. I left my phone upstairs, but also every week they have a group challenge fast, and the moderators of the group choose a different fasting protocol, and then they invite people to join them for the week. Starting every Sunday, there's a new fast. I haven't participated in those yet. I feel like I haven't worked myself up to it yet, because they all have several days of the week where you're doing like a 24-hour fast or a 36-hour fast. When I do my update later on today, I'll show you an example of what it looks like. But really, I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm about to start work. I'm going to see how I do. First of all, I'm going to see how long I can go with just water before I have a cup of black coffee. These fasts that I'm doing for the month of June are pretty much for weight loss. So because of that, that is why I am going to be allowing myself black coffee and black tea and blah, blah, blah. But I am going to just try to see how long I can go before I have it. So yesterday was the fat fast. Today is not a strict water fast, but a water fast. I'm not going to add any creamers or any sweeteners or anything like that to anything that I drink today. So let's see how work goes. I mean, yeah, as I've been talking, I'm waking up. We will see how long I make it today. I mean, I very much keep thinking that I don't feel like going the full 24 hours. And I was reading this post in the group today by one of the moderators that was saying that Jason Fung says that really one of the magic spots is the 42 hours. You know, of course, 48 hours is better than 42, but 42 hours are really good magic point. And so I've been thinking about the idea of just going 42 hours. I haven't calculated what that is, and I probably shouldn't, because I should be going by how I feel and not by counting down the hours. So we'll see how this day goes. I mean, I might come to you a couple times today. Who knows? Okay, so it's 5:13 and I just finished working for today. So how did day 2 go? So it went okay. So my goal today was supposed to be just to drink either water or black coffee or black tea. And so that's how I started off the day. However, the current coffee that I have is very bitter, and so I was not enjoying my cup of coffee, so I didn't even drink half of that cup of coffee, so it doesn't even count. So then I switched over to green tea, which I'm not a huge tea drinker. It was okay. I probably drank about half the cup of tea, and then I was drinking water all day. So I didn't really have a big issue with hunger today. I felt pretty good and focused. I still felt a little tired. I still think from lack of sleep. So I was focused but tired. I mean, my day at work went pretty well, but I still did keep feeling like I wanted to eat. And finally, at around, I think it was like around noon, I had decided, forget it. I'm gonna just have a cup of coffee with some heavy whipping cream. And so by the time I came downstairs, I turned on the Keurig, I put some water in, and then I was just walking around in circles to get my steps in. All of a sudden I realized, oh, I'm not hungry anymore. And so I just went back up to upstairs and started working again. But that only lasted for a couple of hours. And so by 2 o'clock, I decided I wasn't hungry, but I decided that I thought that some coffee would help me focus, some coffee with some cream would help me maybe focus some more and get through the rest of my day, because I was starting to lag a little bit mentally. And it was decaffeinated coffee that I was going to drink. It wouldn't have mattered if it was caffeinated, because I really don't feel any effects from caffeine. But I do mentally get a boost from drinking coffee. So I thought, let me just go ahead and have my coffee with a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, and let's get through this day. Well, I had that at 2 o'clock, and I felt like, in general, I felt better. However, I became very, very sleepy. I felt like I had just eaten a 5-course meal from coffee with heavy whipping cream. That is so weird. But I mean, in a way, I was breaking my fast, because I had used my fast app to keep track of when was the last time I had actually eaten anything with calories in it. Yesterday was my fat fast, and I had my last cup of coffee with cream. I finished it at 4:30, and I started my app at 4:30. And so it was 2 o'clock, so it was almost 24 hours since I had had any calories. And so I don't know if that's what made me feel so sleepy. It was really weird. And it actually made it a little bit harder for me to finish work. And then when I finished work, I did hop on the elliptical just for 15 minutes. For some reason I thought maybe that would perk me up and make me feel better, but it didn't. I just felt even more tired. So technically my fast is not supposed to be up until 8:45. But I am going to be breaking it early because, number one, I wasn't thinking straight when I started this fast. That was a night where I ate very late because it was a Friday night and I actually didn't even go to bed until midnight. But I want to stop eating like at least 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. And so I'm not going to wait until 8:45 to eat. So I plan on, right now I'm heating up my oven because I'm about to put some burgers in there. I had purchased these from Whole Foods. And I haven't even opened up the box yet. So I'm going to be putting a couple of these in the oven because I'm going to have one tomorrow also for lunch. And I'm going to have some of this and an avocado. Well, I'll show a picture of what I actually break my fast with. So I'm looking forward to this. 18 grams of protein in a patty. Yum. But yeah, I mean, today was, once again, it's the mental toughness. It was mentally tougher than I wanted it to be. And I admit I'm not looking forward to my next fast. But I'm hoping that the more I do it, it should be like exercise. It should be get easier. And so that's why I want to start doing this every week like clockwork. And building my fasting muscle, I think is what Dr. Fung says. So yeah, I'm hoping that I'm going to get better at this. Now I wanted to talk a little bit more about lab tests and things. I think lab tests that I'm going to get done, but I don't feel like it. I'm tired and I want to get these burgers in the oven. And let's see, how long do they take? 10 minutes. 10 minutes, yes. So I'm going to be eating in about 10 minutes. So I don't feel like talking. I will come back to you guys. Oh, I did forget to tell you this morning. Oh, shoot. So yesterday my weight was 178.4. And this morning it was 177.6. So I had gone down just a little bit. I mean, this is only a 2-day fast, so it's not like I expect really massive results. But before I submit this video, I will come back to you guys again on a day that I'm not fasting and when I'm thinking more clear, and talk to you about the lab test that I'm going to be getting done soon. Bye. Okay, so it's 5:51. Here is my burger, and this is just 1.8 ounces of avocado and then some ketchup and mustard. I was going to put a tomato on here, but the problem is that I probably can't even eat this, so tomato would be too much. So here is my app. Whoops, upside down. I've been fasting for 45 hours and 8 minutes. And so as soon as I stop recording, I'm going to press stop fast. And so my fast will be, 45 hours. So this is the next morning after my 45-hour fast. Yesterday, after I broke my fast, I kept eating even though I wasn't hungry. I ate anyway. I ate half of a container of the Enlightened ice cream and something else. So I ended the day with about 800 calories for the whole day, and then about, I can't remember, but it was like 25 net carbs. And then I went to bed early. But today I'm starving. I already had 2 coffees with cream, and one of the coffees I put butter in because I was trying to make it to 16 hours, and I just couldn't because I am so hungry and I have a headache. So it's about 13 and a half hours, and I am going to eat this as my first meal of the day. I'm so hungry. Okay, so it is about 3 hours later, and I am still very hungry. So I am about to eat this. So this is a kind of like a turkey chili with avocado and vegetables in it. I ate this last week, and this last serving was supposed to be for Saturday, but I didn't know that I was going to do a fat fast on Saturday, so I had put this in the freezer, and I took it out last night to have as my lunch today. So I'm hoping that this is finally going to fill me up. I think it will. And I keep forgetting to tell you how much I weighed this morning. I'm going to have to look at the number and tell you later. Okay, so even though I really tried, I could not finish all of this chili. I'm stuffed. I finally feel very satisfied. But I forgot to mention that my weight had dropped another 2 pounds this morning. So I'm down, oh shoot, no, I forgot. I believe I'm down 3 pounds since Saturday. And I have found that on some of the days when I'm the most hungry, those were the days that I was losing the most weight. Or I lost weight yesterday, so I'm very hungry today. We'll see if that still holds true for like the rest of the month. Okay, so this is my dinner, but let me tell you how the rest of my day went. After I ate my lunch, I got really hungry again in about 2 more hours, and I felt guilty about eating because I'm trying not to snack. And so I made myself some tea, and I kept trying to hold on until dinner. And then finally, at about like 3 o'clock, I was starving. And then I realized, well, wait a minute. I think I've only had, I hadn't even had maybe 400 calories today or something. And so I realized, you know what, plus the day after a fast, it is common to eat more, and that's okay. And so I went and I had the other half of the little bit that was left of my lunch. And then I had some almonds. Let me grab this. A package of almonds like this. And then I had a little cheese, one of those little cheese squares. So I had that, and then I felt really good for many, many hours, and now this is going to be my dinner. I'm not going to have it with avocado because I don't feel like I need it. So this is just going to be my hamburger and some ketchup, and then this is all I am going to eat for today. Oh yeah, I might come back later and tell you what my calories were for today.